Hey everybody, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, today we're going to be going over another video. This one is going to be coming from dash cam out of Arkansas. State troopers were in pursuit of a stolen vehicle, a red F-150. It was actually observed by what looks like an unmarked plainclothes state trooper or law enforcement agent, and then it was picked up by this trooper Randall, and we could see a pretty sweet pit maneuver. And in this, we'll offer some critique, kind of take a look at everything that's going on here. If not, just check out some really cool footage on police action that's happening. And we pulled this video from police activity. I want to thank them for that while we critique this. So without further ado, here we go. So it is a normal October day. And you see there, right there, you saw that, I mean, you almost missed it. You take a look over here. You see, this is the suspect vehicle, the one that is right there, the closest vehicle, and behind it is another F-150. Now, this other F-150 has its blinkers on, and this is going to be the unmarked, or this is going to be the plainclothes that observed this vehicle and is going to do a pursuit handoff, which is what we'll see right here. All right, so now you see the flashing lights, and this trooper is conducting that U-turn. Now, look at the lower left. We're going to have our speed here, or land speed, and I really love the way that they did this. You have the mic is on, the lights are on, and the brake indicator there too. So there, what that was right there was that was the handoff. You saw that F-150 slowed in the outside lane. Now the trooper in his cruiser, which cruisers are made for speed, they're made for this situation. He's now going to pick up the chase, and as you can see, that truck is right ahead of him, just ahead of this other vehicle here in the lane number 2, which would be the outside lane. You'll also see that there's another police vehicle that's coming this way, the opposite way as well. So they're picking up the chase here, and now you think, okay, we're right now we're in the middle of a 4-lane road, you know, undivided. You've got, I mean, it is middle of the afternoon, normal traffic. So this is a high risk situation here, and we're just going to get even crazier here in a second. So we're turning into a residential area, and as you notice, we have apartment complex on one side and looks like a single family resident on the other. And he's keeping up with them right now. We're going about 40 miles per hour. You can see how that truck dips when they're making that turn. And these guys are thinking like, oh yeah, we've got this. We're going to do a little Dukes of Hazzard situation here, but you're not going to shake a trooper like that. So now we're going off the road, and if you look right here, it's a basketball court. Now we're doing this pursuit, and you have these people endangering the public. You have them crossing our basketball court. The rules of the road don't apply when you're running from the cops. So troopers need to be aware of that as well when they're chasing these folks. You know, that was kind of why my previous department was very, I mean, I've said it before, they were very keen on reducing the amount of pursuits we had in a larger city environment. This is a little bit more forgiving when it comes to like the presence of people, but it's 2:15. It's 2:18. School's going to be getting out. I mean, this is a very, very dangerous situation. All right, so we have a local PD who's in on this now, and then we have this apartment complex, which just looks like every other apartment complex that we've been to, with an outer breezeway and speed bumps, and we're just going to roll right through this. All right, there's that unmarked that you saw before, the one that initiated or was following the stolen vehicle. It's kind of like my truck. All right, so now we're going to go back out onto that 4-lane road. All right, so now, boom! There, you see, we're flying past them, and you can hear this engine in this trooper's car. This trooper's car is made for speed. Now we're at about 80 miles per hour right now. 80 miles per hour. You got this F-150, and now we're going to start dodging and dipping and diving in the 5Ds inside all this traffic and all these civilians. And you got to imagine, you're just sitting there, you're just hanging out, you're listening to a podcast, or you're getting ready for, let's say, getting ready to pick up your kids. And then all of a sudden, because, you know, when I was a cop, I was always wondering, like, why don't you hear my sirens? Like, why don't you see me? Move out of the way, right? I mean, everyone can relate to that who's been a cop. But you got to realize your ears, your attention's to, you know, paying attention to the road, listening to the podcast, listening to the radio, something, and then, boom, you look next to you. You just got this vehicle, and you got these troopers following. You're like, holy crap! And by the time you have time, typically, to respond to it, you're just sitting there, just like, oh my gosh, what happened? Then it's gone, and that's exactly what's happening right now. All right, so we're paying attention to the speed right now. So we're at about 85, 86. Did you hear his communication? Even, controlled, going almost, if you look now, 97 miles per hour, even, controlled. That street supervisor is going to keep that guy going. Well, the trooper supervisor is going to keep this guy going. He's not going to call it off. Troopers, they are made for this. This pit maneuver is what they, I mean, it is the culmination of everything they've done so in their academy. This is it right here. This is the moment. Now this right here, as fast as they're going, you can see clearly down this road. This kind of looks like a good spot to pit. You know, you want to have as much spot space, or as much, you want to have as much in front of you clear as you can, right? Because once you hit that back tire, all right, you start pushing into that car and moving it perpendicular to your own, it could veer off the front, go into opposing traffic, cross a street. This is really a crappy situation because guess what you have on each side of the road? You have commercial, you got vehicles, you have business going on. This is the middle of the day. And you're going to see where this trooper makes a great decision, but you hear him say something different in response. Right there. Right there. That, not sure what's going on here, but right there he's like, oh crap, I can't do it. We're coming to a bend. I can't see what's in front of me. And good call, because you have those other vehicles approaching. Good on him. All right. Now here we are. This is it. You see it. I see it. He sees it. Whew, you get that feeling right down there like, oh, here we go. And this is it. All right, there you go. So front right side of that hood is going into just the front side of the fender on the rear wheel. He's going to apply pressure and accelerate. Woo! Oh my gosh. Like, look at that still right there. Can you imagine just seeing this quarter-ton friggin' rated truck just flipping right in front of you? Like, you have to admit, like, that's got to have your adrenaline going. You're going to be a friggin' mess if you get out of that car, just jacked up on adrenaline. But watch. Oof. I mean, just real quick, look at that. That's the tire on the other side of the road. You see this here. You see the curtain airbags have gone off. You can't imagine the state of the drivers or the occupants of this vehicle. It's very dangerous, but at least we're upright. We're in the right direction. And we got some tinted windows to negotiate here. Same. What? What? I can't hear you. Your siren's on. When we're so jacked up when we get that tunnel vision, now we have to still be responsible enforcers of the law and communicate with the citizens of our jurisdiction. Meaning, hey, turn off your friggin' siren when you're trying to give commands, because it can get really hairy. I mean, you have a felony here. You have a stolen vehicle, so you can assume that there is felonious activity, i.e. weapons involved. That's what we're going to take a look here. This is a perfect time. All right, the vehicle's not going anywhere. Let's stop. Let's set up the proper, felony stop. Let's get our fan. Let's get everything going to cover down on this vehicle, because there are so many unknowns in here. So many. But there is some fortune. I mean, we don't want to use fortune. We don't want to use risk versus luck. We don't want to play that. We want to control everything. And in this is where we really need to slow down. All right, everybody's good. Take a breath. Whew. All right, and then let's set up a plan. First thing, turn off the damn siren. Hand! Show me your fucking hand! Whoop! There we go. On the ground! On it! Get out! On the ground! Get the... All right, so you've got the driver, the supposed driver right here. He's complying. On the far side, he's down. And you got this occupant right here on the passenger side, and he's trying to communicate with the officer, right? And really, you don't really need communication. They need to comply. Now, he could be injured. The guy could have his leg, pointing the other way. There's a number of things happening here, but still, those are only two people. Reasonable expectation, there could be more people in here. And right now, we need to just control and cordon what's going on. Okay, well, he's not dead. All right. Now, you can see the trooper here, which the thing about troopers, man, like, they always look sharp. They have to, right? They're usually the only people on calls, so they have to look sharp. They'll have their smoky on. They look intimidating. The guy looks sharp. He's got all his gear shined, right? Looks great, and he looks relatively calm. All right, he's kind of got to have his gun. Yeah, he's kind of presenting his gun at a, kind of a, I guess you would put like a low ready for a pistol, and kind of, looking around. But here's the biggest thing. Here's my biggest peeve right now. I mean, everything's going pretty good so far. Yeah, dropping a couple F-bombs. All right, that's fine. You're emphasizing. Great. But you have tinted windows and some obscurity to what's inside. Okay, now typically you're supposed to fan out from opposing angles, and we're going to go ahead and use that vehicle as an intersection, and then we're going to go ahead and methodically clear after we've talked everybody out, using the vehicles as cover, which means you need to get behind the actual trunk of the vehicle, not the door or in the jamb of the door. I mean, if you truly think about cover, a door is not cover unless you actually put some kind of bullet protection in there, which most troopers don't have it in their vehicle. You set up your spot, usually behind the trunk of your vehicle, to put the maximum amount of car and standoff between you and the target. Anyway, you're calling people out. You're taking them into custody on your end, on your terms. We're not doing that. We're kind of excited here. We're going to rush the vehicle a little bit, and then there's a couple of actors here that I have to call out, man, because it's just you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hey, go grab him real quick. Go put handcuffs on him. Who else in the car besides you two?
All right, just a girl. So if this trooper is taking control, right, he needs to be in a position where he can observe everything. So if he's telling somebody to go take somebody on the driver's side, there's no reason to go up here just yet. I will say that, like, unless they're like, hey, so and so's broken or something like that, or like they're calling some kind of extenuating circumstance. Like, trooper, just hang back, observe. You are in command on the scene. This is you. So control it, slow it down, because the moment a variable is out there, like maybe another person, maybe that gal that he just mentioned has a gun or something like that, it's going to be a bloody mess. I mean, an absolute mess, and that's what we anticipate and what we have to train for. Now that's pretty cool. I didn't know that Fords could do that unless it just popped out. I think it was a little crooked, like a little popped out anyway. So good on the trooper for coming in and immediately owning that space. I didn't realize they put that feature on the F-150. Okay. You got two actions happening at the same time. Two actions. You got to play, hope for the best, but you plan for the worst. So you've got Yehu over here, this guy right here with his double-fisted grip on his firearm, while he's got the female officer coming in to take this person into custody. There's a whole mismatch situation there, because what happens when homeboy gets up to fight, which he doesn't have a weapon, and this dude's got a holster and anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, strength versus strength situation. But I will say, hey, one needs to happen at a time. You control the situation. Nobody's running away. It's contained. So, because if something goes wrong over here on the right with the trooper, well, what are the people on the left going to do? Is there a crossfire situation? One at a time.
Get off of it. Get out on it. On the ground.
Yes, sir, I didn't do anything.
Who else is in the car?
Okay. So you have the trooper coming up, and you saw that he was clearing the car as best he could while he was there. When you got people on both sides of the car, especially when he's committed that far forward, again, if there's a threat inside there, right? Maybe just sit there on the C column, which is that back column where he's at right now, and just hold what you got while they move up. That way you have a clear line of fire while you're going up there. You got this Yehu down here who's next to the vehicle. Again, you've controlled the situation. Maybe this guy over here can do something more than what he's about to do, which is flag everybody.
I didn't do anything, I promise.
Is there anybody
Whoop,
else
there's a flag.
I'm down, I done shit.
You move and I'm gonna pull your fucking head off.
Why? Why, Officer Dumpley? Why? Why is that necessary? Why is that necessary? Don't move. Don't move. All right? Now you got this, like seriously, this guy, look at this. Look at this crap. When the public is looking for reasons to hate you, you come up like this. And you've got the trooper here, the guy who actually friggin' pitted that truck, saw it flip in front of him, was going 100 miles an hour while he did it too. calm and cool and collected. And this local PD Yahoo is out here friggin' making things worse. Just like the last video I talked about, effing it up. Like, look, get control of that guy, drag him away so that trooper can work and own what he's already taken, all right, and put him in cuffs. The guy doesn't have a gun on him. Pull him away, right? If you got to pull him away, get him clear of whatever he might be laying next to, and then continue. Oh, this, I mean, I'm not going over the presentation of this officer, right? Because the whole, I mean, if you can see it right there, just underneath the vest, you kind of see that this is the first time he's been out and about in a while. But agitation, what do you do under stress? Are you agitating the situation? Or are you controlling the situation? The trooper, controlling. This PD guy, nah.
Put your hands behind your back, right? Good. You just keep your fucking hands right
Put
there.
that seat up. Put that seat up.
Lay in there.
Yeah, girl.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Officer Dumpley? What are you gonna do? He's put him in cuffs right now. You got his gun to his head. You're not looking at him. You're looking over here. What are you doing? Like, truly, what are you doing? If now your attention is on the door, post up on the door. All right? Let the officer over here the trooper over here, put him in handcuffs without flagging his friggin' face. This is what pisses me off. You got yahoos out here. And look how long this friggin' officer takes to holster his damn weapon.
You got an ambulance around. You're fine.
Whenever you're ready, we'll get her out.
Do we have both of them?
Yeah, we gotta go over here to her.
Everyone is holstered up except for this guy right here. Everyone is holstered up except for this guy right here. All right. You got the guy who just rolled up. He said blue, right? He's coming up saying he's part of the team. Okay. He's more than likely that guy from that black F-150 that was following. He put on his gear, his clear signifier that he's part of police. All right. To help with this scene here. You got this guy right here who's out on the pavement. You know, maybe get him up, positional asphyxia. I mean, if you can kind of time how long he's been there, get him out of the way. So if you guys got to get to work or something like that, or you got to deal with a threat, now this guy is in your custody. He is in your care. You have to safeguard him. So maybe Officer Dumpley can get him off the ground, put him on his side, clear him real quick to make sure he doesn't have weapons, and then put his butt into one of the working vehicles. Because I'm pretty sure this trooper's vehicle here is it might be toast. Or, you know, it could be perfectly fine. But, you know, not this one because it's going to be investigated. Put it in the one that the guy brought. You know, that black, the black SUV. Like, put him in that. But instead, we're just going to walk around with our gun out. Ah.
Get out. Come on. It's either you get out.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. We're putting it away.
I'm 10-4, so I'm like my car.
Roll over.
All right. So you can kind of hear audio. You can kind of hear audio of that female who's in the back of the vehicle. She's obviously been shaken. They just flipped the damn truck. Okay, I get it. That's a situation there. And you can hear the officers and the trooper just calm and steady. And then you got Yahoo over here. I'm just going to stay off of him for a little bit. Okay, so now we're rendering care. We get the situation under control. You know, I don't remember seeing what happened to the other gentleman on the ground. He might still be there. But now we have a crime scene. So now we're going to have to start controlling it. You've got Officer Dumpley over here, you know, doing his protective sweep, doing, you know, checking waistband and looking for anything that, you know, might present itself as a weapon. Also probably identification as well. All right, there goes the driver.
Okay, well, we're going to handle that, but we're going to get you secured first, okay?
Yep.
Put your hands behind your back. You want to sleep?
There we go, see?
No, you weren't asleep.
She thinks she's asleep. Like, you got to think about it. Like, I would probably feel like I was asleep too. It'd probably feel like a dream or a nightmare. Having flipped like that at such high speed. I mean, you're already like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then boom. And then now you've got these police officers coming in. And I would, you know, the way the troopers just talking to her, like, hey, like, you're going to be okay. Let's bring it over here. I mean, kudos to this guy. Absolutely. I mean, professionalism all the way through. And the fact that he's so calm makes it feel like it might be a dream. Now, if the other guy over here, Officer Dumpley, who's still rivaling through the pockets of this gentleman over here on the passenger side, yeah, she'd probably feel like it was a nightmare. You're probably like, get your effing hands on effing this and effing that. You're not tough, dude. You're already in control. You've got a gun. Like, just chill. Communicate clearly. Because if they take it in any other way besides what you're trying to convey, dude, you are going to be held accountable for that. And most people are. All right. Okay, do you know what to do? Do you know what to do? Do you know what to do? Officer Dumpley, do you know what to do?
Got 31015, and that is advised I need a 1011 for this truck and a 1011 for my car.
So looks like, you know, when you have somebody come up plain clothes like that, you know, with a polo, you know, dark polo, longer sleeves, cargo shorts, it's going to have to be a like a supervisor, like your lieutenant who's on board, or who's I guess it was car 8 for us. You know, your supervising lieutenant for the shift, probably coming out, or probably a detective as well for like auto. They'll usually just come out like this. Scene safe. You know, they've cleared everything, so he can roll up just slick like that. Still, this poor man, and yes, I say poor man to the guy who was part of the crew that just robbed this vehicle, who's been flipped in a vehicle, is still on the ground. The vehicle is just flipped and he's still on the ground. Where's PRS? Have you called it in? Like, how are we rendering aid? This guy could have a head and neck injury, a number of things going on with him, and Officer Dumpley here is just leaving him on the ground. Now, I will say this. Maybe he's waiting. I mean, you got to give benefit of the doubt sometimes. Maybe he's waiting for PRS to come and clear him to move him.
Yeah.
But
Where you at?
I'm not sure if that's going to happen, or if that's what he's doing.
Up here, I guess.
What's your cross street? Because we're looking for you, bub.
Oh, we're north of the airport. We're just right at the airport on 71.
He said he's right at the airport on 71. I thought I heard him saying they're going south.
Oh, y'all messed that up? Oh.
That happens. That happens, right? Where you're just, you know, we don't have like an overhead like in video games where you can see the map and see how people are moving, right? You can have your intersection, what people are calling out, and then track. And the moment someone says, hey, they're heading south, maybe, or you hear that on the radio when you head south, I mean, it happens, right? It's not supposed to, but it happens.
Oh, my word.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll forgive you.
That's still the trooper, by the way. All right. It has been only, I mean, minutes. That adrenaline dump is happening, right? I mean, just cortisol spike and all that stuff like that. And sometimes you get a little spacing, but this guy is just calm, cool on the radio, just talking, folks. Hey, this is what it is. This is what we're doing. I mean, this is great.
All right. We'll be there in a jiffy.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. And then, yeah, support police activity. They're awesome. They're awesome, awesome, awesome. So just a couple of points here, right? One, look at that. 106 miles per hour, right, to catch up. Boop, 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 boop. Just before the pit maneuver, you're looking at 95 miles per hour. Just before the pit maneuver, we're at 95 miles per hour. That is fast. That is friggin' fast. It's fast because then you're throwing that giant friggin' truck right there on its side and start rolling down the street. That energy has to transfer somewhere. It's going to be mostly into the body of that vehicle, but also into the bodies of the occupants. All right. Now we have this part right here where you have two teams working here. You have solo trooper, which, you know, good on him, right? But then you have the PD element here on the other side. You've got the female officer there, and then you got, you know, Officer Dumpley here. You know, I judge by actions, right? And that's what I'm judging here as a former defensive tactics instructor, right? These are things: positioning, handcuffing, hand-to-hand, using countermeasures, employing non-lethal, all this stuff. These are the things I have to critique, all right, when I was in, and I'm gonna still critique them now. And stuff like this, like, look, if you're taking somebody down, if you guys are ever on a vehicle like this, slow down, take your time, one at a time. All right, there is no time limit on this. Okay, if you've been out on a auto pedestrian fatality, you know there's no time limit because you're gonna be out there for a shift or two. All right, but with this situation here, slow it down. You know, people they might need care, but first the scene has to be safe. So secure it right away. All right. Overall, the trooper, awesome. Control all the way through. Great. Love that. You know, love seeing control in a situation like this because it is highly dynamic. There's a bunch of factors, but control is key. the PD, the local PD guy, especially that one guy, like, dude, you were just agitating the situation. If it was me, it's like, dude, just stop. Like, you go with so-and-so, put him with another officer, and have the other officer run what's going on. Okay, slow it down. You can't have agitators like that. Until that vehicle is secure as the unknown, you need to be methodical. You need to have the same practice across, which is usually for us felony stop, right? You have a team per vehicle. You have at least 2 vehicles. If it's at night, you put on the light curtain. If not, you're just strong pointing as best you can. One person gives commands. All right, you have the people come to you. If they're not able to, because of like the situation with this, you wait, hold what you got, and until everything else is cleared, then you proceed. One obstacle at a time. Okay, luckily, right? It's luckily. I mean, if this was, it'd be different, right? If we're showing this, and we showed the worst case scenario that I was talking about, where you have somebody coming to in the back of that vehicle and then coming up and going, I'm not, either they're hit and they're just not thinking straight, or they're like, screw this, they see a threat and they start shooting. It's a completely different situation. And then they end up falling back to those felony stop positions anyway. Why not do that to begin with? Keep that defense up. Control the situation. All right. But this was awesome to watch, right? Seeing that happen. And this is it's on the 24th, in the middle of the afternoon. It's not at night when there's nobody on the road, but making those calls like, hey, that trooper, seeing that perfect scenario or near perfect scenario, clear road. It's actually pretty dang wide, improved surface. Here we go. Perfect hit on the pit, good follow through, and then, calm, cool, and collected. But you got to also wrangle up your fellow officers because they're part of the investigation too. And it just takes one bad apple to ruin the rest. So thank you so much for watching this, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.